On 18th April, the USB is connected to my machine. This is the date when it's unplug and unplug date, a vendor ID, product ID, USB class, okay, the detail regarding the USB.
That is previously, if any USB has been plugged in and then removed, this tool will show us.
Yes, how many USBs till
Okay.
now? How many USBs are connected to your machine? So presently I am having three records for me like this.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Can you
Now
kindly share
let's
that link, ma'am? usbdeview.com.
so I have put it in a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I also pasted in
Ah,
a
okay.
presentation. I'll share this presentation after today's session. I'll share all my presentation today.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now let's start with the tools. Okay. So the first tool is Autopsy. Maybe some of you are knowing about this tool. This is very famous tool. This tool is mainly used for doing the analysis of your acquired data, the data which is you are having in your image file. So for doing the analysis, finding some results, we have this tool, Autopsy. It's a very powerful tool. Okay. Next one is the FTK. FTK is the forensic toolkit. The long form of FTK is forensic toolkit, and this is used for creating that image or the clone of the evidence. Okay. So when you acquire a data, when you got a particular evidence, with help of this tool, you can create the clone or image. Another one is Ncase. Ncase is again it's a imager only, but it's a FTK imager or the FTK is the freely available. But if you wanna buy with Ncase, you have to buy. If you wanna use this Ncase, you have to buy this tool. Okay, but Ncase gives you more feature as compared to the FTK. You need to buy, you have to do some payment, but you will get more details in the Ncase. So Ncase is good tool feature wise as compared to FTK. Both tools are used for the imaging only, but FTK is freely available in case you have to buy. Next one is the bulk extractor. Bulk extractor is mainly used for the what happened in this in case and the FTK. At one time they can deal with one evidence, but you have so many evidence like you have USBs, you have a CCTV cameras, web cameras, some pen drive, laptop, some desktop, so much amount of memory devices you have, then you can use this bulk extractor. So at the same time, you can connect so many devices with this, and you can at the same time you can extract the data or you can create the image of those. So it's a faster. This is the faster as compared to FTK and the NCAS. Next one is WinHex. WinHex tool is used for the converging of your data and the hashing, checking mainly checking for the integrity of the data or of your evidence. Okay. Now how you gonna handle those evidence? So first one is when you visit the crime scene, you get to know these are the your evidence. You have to take it and seize it with the Faraday bag. Okay, but now, as I said earlier, you have to check a machine is on or off. Okay, sometime, sometime what happen when you are dealing or when you are working with the computers, as I said earlier, the with respect to the mobile phone, if the attacker knows that your mobile phone is there and they try to take connect and they delete those files, same thing is happen with your laptop or with your desktop. They try to take a remote login and then format or delete or add or remove or edit the data which is present in your computer. So after seizing this system, you have to shut down. After taking a backup of your RAM memory, you have to cut it down, shut down or power off that particular machine to preserve the data which is present on a hard disk. Okay, on your ROM. Next one is sometime this is another scenario. Now what happened in this scenario if something is happened with a particular organization or with you can say the data server where continuous data streaming is there with other clients or the customer. So in this case you can't seize the whole data server with you. Why? Because if you are seizing it, if you are shut it down, or if you are taking to the you are taking to with taking with you, what will happen? You have to, that server has to stop the working, right? So it will impact on other customers data or other services which are connected with the worldwide. As an example, if some Instacar server, if something is happen with Insta server, if you are seizing that whole server, then what happen with the people, those who are connect with that particular server? So in this particular scenario, you can't seize or you can't stop or you can't shut it down a particular machine on a live data acquisition. You have to do over there only. So in this case scenario, mostly the investigator carry their whole, we can say, the kit, investigation kit with them. They in that crime scene at that place only, they on that site only they do the imaging, live imaging. Okay, so this is another scenario how to handle with the devices. The mobile phone, I told you, right? The mobile phone, first you have to check if there is connected to a particular tower or the satellite. Then you have to again check with the magnetic field, and you have to check if someone tried to connect with that phone and all. So the seizing your mobile devices is a different task. Okay. Now, how the analysis happen? After seizing, when you come back to your lab, then you have to go with these steps. First one is contamination is very much important. So no one can connect and retrieve or delete the data. Then isolate all those wireless devices. Again, you have to install the right blocker. Right blocker, they are block like if some, there is a laptop, okay, and the laptop is one of the evidence and I am a criminal. So I can take a remote login of that laptop and I can do something with the machine. I can add something, I can delete something. So this right blocker software, they block it, block all the ports, they block all the telnet. Telnet mainly we use, right, for taking a remote login. So they block all the ports so no one can connect with that particular machine. Okay, then we have to finalize which extraction or the data acquisition method or the way we have to use. And then after the acquisition, we have to submit the evidence. Next one is the, while doing the analysis, which type of a precautions we have to take care. The first one, when we create image file or when we create the cloning of that particular file, we have to save those image files or that clone files with an on another memory. Okay, and that memory need to be a clean in the sense, as I said, when you delete something, the files are not deleted, right? So if you have a CD, maybe you are saying this is a CD I used uh, for saving some files, but now it's clean, now it's deleted, those files are not there, the files are deleted, the place is there, there is no data or no files are present on that CD now, but you can't use that CD because the pointers are over there in a slack space or some pointers are override over there. So you can't use it because if you are using and you are creating imaging by using that particular CD, what will happen? The image file or your clone file will be impacted because of those pointers. So you have to use clean, a new memory. Okay. Next one is when you use this uh, digital servers, mainly when you have a big data storage or the, as I gave the example, data server ka. Again, if you have a very huge data server with you and when you want to do the copying or the imaging of that, you have to check, okay, the where you are making that copy, the storage amount of that copy is more as compared to the evidence ka memory capacity. Otherwise you have to create the fragmentation of those files. Suppose you can't create an image file on so many DVDs in a continuation. No, you have to take a large amount of a destination, we can say, is hardware, where you have to create the copying or the imaging. Okay, where you gonna do this analysis and the we can say is findings in the isolated wireless devices. The another example of your Faraday bag, where you can keep all those devices and you have to isolate with the wireless communication, and then you have to take it out to your lab, and lab is also, you have to make this isolated. With how you're going to do this analysis, with the first you have to install the right block software so no one can get to connect and do some changes. Then you have to finalize, okay, in which way you are going to extract the data, which way of imaging or the cloning you have to decide. And then you have to submit your original evidence to the evidence room, and then you have to work on the your image file. Why? Maybe the same evidence used for the another investigation, like for a fingerprint, maybe that evidence is having some fingerprint or some other traces, or for the DNA purpose. This is another forensic domain, right? Bio domain, forensic domain. So you have to give that evidence to maybe some other forensic investigator, not digital, but the another other forensic investigator. So they are going to use that mobile phone or for that USB for checking the fingerprints or any other stuff. Okay, so after getting the imaging or the cloning of that data, you have to submit your evidence back. So, as I said earlier, the non-volatile memory is very much important for checking the when the data is stored, how they are behaved. So, volatile and non-volatile, they both memories are behave differently. Now, volatile is a RAM and non-volatile is a ROM. So, which are the example? So, we have this floppy disk or the compact disc, hard disk, external hard disk, your USBs, your SD cards. All these are the non-volatile memory where the data is keep remain there. Okay. In volatile, it's a RAM or SSDs. All these are the volatile. So when you take out the data from the volatile memory, your system should be on. If you're off, the data gonna vanish. Okay. How the memory structure is there, so maybe you all are knowing, this is only for your information, is suppose this is your one CD. These are the tracks, what you are seeing is in a circular manner. These are the tracks. On every track we have a different C partition, so these are the partition, right? This partition is called as a sector. So this is my first sector, this is second, then third, then fourth. So these are the sector. In a circular manner, the round, those rounds are the tracks. These are the sectors. Okay. So how much size capacity is there? We can say is on one CD, we have a 63 sector in this particular partition. We have total 32 read and write heads. Okay. Then these are the cylinders. Okay. If you're calculating this, so 1024 cylinders multiply with 32 heads, 32 series, multiply with 63 sectors on every partition. So total how many sectors we have? 2064384 sectors. One sector ka size is 512 bytes. So if you are multiplying this with this, so total capacity of one CD is around 1 GB. So if you have 500 GB ka hard disk, you have 500 series inside. If you have 1 TB, then 1024 series inside. So this is structure of your hard disk. Okay, if you open your hard disk, मतलब उसका ऊपर का cover निकाल के this type of structures may you see. Okay, how are you gonna check the log files in your Windows system? So here you can simply search for the registry editor, and you can open this registry editor. Then you will get to know that where your log files are stored. And as an investigator, digital forensic investigator, these log files are very much important. So which are the log files are there? Suppose in a root, see how many folders are there? So many folders. and so many log files are there, right? You also can check on your machine parallelly with me. If you have so many users, then every user create their own log files. So how many log files are there with respect to the keyboard, control panel, with respect to the different softwares, your system. Uh, if you install something, then regarding the uninstall, volatile, right? With respect to your local machines, different components, different hardwares you are having on your machine, users, how many users you have, softwares and all. So if you check and if you open all this, you can check with respect to font also you have the log files. See, and each and every time when you click, when you open, when you edit, when you create, when you download, when you upload, all the log files are generated on your machine. See, and these log files are very much important as an investigator, because you have to check what happened when the crime is happened, what actual happened with a particular issue. Okay, so these log files are very much important for doing the investigation. So when you create the imaging of particular machine, all the log files are also recorded in image, and you have to do the analysis of every log file. Okay, so they said earlier, the digital file will not vanish. Like उसको अमरत्व मिल जाता है, मैंने बोला था ना in the first lecture how it's go now. So see, these are the sectors we saw na, on every cd, on every partition we have a sectors. Suppose consider here we have 8 sectors. These gray files, in the sense they define there is a data present on this sector. This white color they defines a there is no data on these sectors. Okay, now what is mean by slack space? I told you that the slack space is very much important to retrieve your deleted files. As an example, this is your new drive or the sectors where the data is not there. Here, when you copy some files on your memory, suppose you have a C drive or you have a D drive, and you copy some folder on a D drive. So out of these 5 sectors, 4.7 sectors are utilized. Okay, this sector, this suppose zero point 0.5 sector is remain. There is no data. After some time, if you wanna delete those files, so when you delete the files, so this is unallocated space, right? There is no data on those sectors. Okay, but it's not a clean memory. The clean memory is different and the deleted memory is different. What is the difference in between them? The pointers, the data pointers. Okay, and then after, if you are putting some files on that deleted memory or overwriting, if you are doing the overwriting on this deleted memory, the data which is present here, that data you can retrieve or you can restore. So this memory we call it's my slack memory. You are deleting that files or the folders or the images or the videos, but you are not overwriting. So that memory or that slack space is present over there. So from those data pointers, you can retrieve that file again. Okay, like this is the data, this is the slack space. So from that slack space, you can delete it, you can retrieve the files previously you stored over here. Okay, now these are the tools, different tools you have to use if you want to do the investigation. First you have to create your workstation. For creating a workstation, you directly go with Linux operating systems. If it is not, you have a Windows operating system. With help of VMware or the virtual box, you can create one virtual layer, and with help of that, you can install the Linux-based operating system virtually. Kali Linux mainly is used for doing, as I said earlier, right? It's used for this particular domain. FTK Imager is used for creating image file from off system, shutdown system, or on system. Autopsy is used for doing the analysis of those image file. WinHex is for working on a hash. Okay, for checking the integrity or the authenticity of that data, that nothing is happened or evidence is original evidence is not tampered data.
Ma'am,
Non,
ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, from where we could get these tools?
I'm giving you the links. See the
Okay,
VirtualBox VMware you can directly install.
okay,
Kali Linux again you have to uh, download. There is a kali.com, kalilinux.com. From there you can download the ISO file and you
okay,
can run. See, there are two ways. One is you can create a reboot, a dual boot. Suppose you have a very higher configuration machine, you can separate it. Like maybe for Windows you required more amount of a memory, so three fourth can you can place for the Windows, one fourth can you can place for the Linux. As I'm doing like on my machine, I have a two actual operating systems. If you are not going to that, you can have a virtual box. The virtual box look like this. This is a virtual box.
okay, okay,
So this virtual box again you can download and you can start. So currently I'm having another window in my window. So if you want to add, you can click on a new or add. Then if you have a Kali Linux ka ISO file, then you can search. Now I'll check if I'm having ISO of Kali or not with my machine, because my machine is dual boot. Half is Windows, half is with Kali. So now I logged in the Kali only, but I'll check if I'm having ISO. So you can download that.
No, I think better is if you don't want to tamper with laptop, what you can do is you can install Kali Linux on a USB, 16 GB USB
Huh.
on a
Then you
USB
can
stick.
carry everywhere.
So
yes,
from
yes,
there
yes,
you can boot as a make it a bootable USB, and
Right.
yes. It
so it
become
will
more
not affect
easy.
the base operating system, host operating system.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can you tell me that which one we have to be purchased?
Purchase?
Huh.
No. No need to purchase
Commercial,
anything.
commercial. He's saying COTS. Hey, which of the tools are COTS? He's asking.
Cost, yes.
See, the tools which I'm listed here all are freely available. But if you want
Okay,
to go with a higher fee with additional features, then Encase you have to buy. There is a cost for the Encase. Autopsy and the FTK they are freely available. Kali is
okay,
also it's an open source operating system, so no need to buy. WinHex is also the freely available. Volatility is with it comes with the Java, so it's again no need to buy this. And this is again the commands which is on a Linux. So this listed all tools they are freely available. Only the
okay.
in case is there where you have to buy.
Which one?
In case,
Okay,
in case tool you have to buy. There is a free version is also there where they give some features only for student edition, only for the learning purpose for the students they are providing. But again it's for sometime they give for the 15 days ka, sometime they give for the 1 month ka. After that again you have to purchase. Yes, Geeta ma'am.
Ma'am, what if someone has searched something on his laptop or computer or phone in on incognito mode? If someone has done something wrong, any offense, and we, as a investigator, we found that phone. So, can we get the data of that incognito modes also?
Yes, so what is incognito mode? Basically incognito mode is give you the another secure window. We say it's a secure window. Mostly incognito window generate mainly for the VPNs. If you are doing something with help of or if you are applying using some VPN tools for as an example TCS. Mostly if you are using, if you are dealing with some TCS projects, you have to go with a 40 client. I have one VPN with me as I'm working on some TCS project. So you have to work on this 40 client VPN. So when you're dealing with this type of a software, you have to work on a, this is a VPN. So this VPN is used by the TCS where you can first log in, doing the authentication and that particular stuff. And then when you deal with those projects, you have to go with the incognito mode. Yes, it's a little secure as compared to other browsers, but it's not like that. If some crimes are happen with incognito browser, so you can't detect. You can detect because it's connected with the internet. No, if you are able to capture those packets, you can do the analysis and the imaging of those packets. This is a secure as compared to the normal browser. As we say, the Linux operating system is secure as compared to the Windows operating system. But it's not like that. If the crime is happened via the Linux operating system, we can't detect. Or there is no malware or the viruses infection with Linux operating system. Yes, because they, for installing the automatic thing with respect to the malware and viruses, they need .exe files, and .exe files are not working on the Linux. But nowadays we have the different types of softwares, those who are impact your Linux operating system too. So as we said, our iPhones and the Apple OS and those systems are secure, but nowadays nothing is secure. Day by day, we have different uh, type of attacks. How are we gonna improve the security layer? Same things happen with the other side also. Yes, other
Ma'am,
Gita.
ma'am, activity on incognito mode will generate log files in our computer or not?
Which log files? Which activity?
Activity, any activity on an incognito mode.
Yes, it's recording. No? It's recording in your user log files.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Gita ma'am.
Ma'am, I have downloaded the Linux as a separate OS in my laptop. Then is that okay? That way, is it okay?
Ah, yes, and you are installing. So uh, you have a
So
dual
I
boot.
will be like,
Ah,
pardon, ma'am?
so your machine is dual boot.
Ah, yeah.
Ah, it's
So
good.
either I can go as it is okay, right? So even if we are trying any ethical hacking, then it will not impact my Windows OS, right now?
No, no. See why
Oh, okay.
we have this dual boot ka concept. See, when we are in a virtual box and when we install some OS in a virtual box now, it gives
Yes,
you
ma'am.
some lags like uh,
Ah,
स्लो हो जाता है मशीन, या फिर
हाँ,
when you
हाँ.
are doing
Yeah,
something टाइम लगता है, कभी कभी हैंग हो
yeah,
जाता है. So that's why
yeah.
the dual boot is good as compared to the virtual box. Only the
Okay.
constraint in dual boot is you have to use only one operating system at the same time. Like
Yes. At
current,
one time, yes. We,
one
yes.
time only one OS. So presently I'm in a Windows, so I can't go to the my Kali or my Ubuntu
Kali, yes.
because it's on another partition, other memory partition. That's why. So
Haan ji, okay. Yeah.
both the things are having some advantage and some disadvantage. Now it's based on you, your requirement. You want this flexibility, like switching from Windows to the Linux.
Yeah.
Then you can go with the VMware or the VirtualBox. If you
Virtual.
wanna, if you're deciding at the same time, I'm working on only one single OS, like a Windows or a Linux, then you can, and you want a speed that no hanging or no delay, no lagging, then you can have the dual boot. You partition, and you can make a partition of your memory, and you have two or more operating systems with you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So this is the tool. Next one is the, so as I said, you can go in other ways. Next one is the, let's start with the first data acquisitions or the data recovery. So for that we need FTK imager. So if you have a Windows operating system, you can go with the FTK imager. If you are having Linux, these two commands used for the create image file, dd and dcf ldd. The main difference in between DD command and DCFLDD command is DCFLDD command gives you hash. Okay, so while create an image file, also it creates a hash file of that image file. Okay. So let's start with the FTK imager. So I'm sharing this link in our chat box from where you can download the FTK. Okay, so you download this FTK and install by clicking only next. Not that much difficult, it's Windows thing. Then you can directly go next. You have to fill this form. Okay, after installing your FTK imager, it look like this, like this. Parallelly, I search for the ISO file. Presently, I am having Ubuntu ISO file. Um, Kalika also I am having ISO. These are little constrained in online session, no? If there is a offline session, then I directly can give you the setup file. But now you have to download at your end.
Ma'am, it says access denied.
Why?
I don't know, ma'am, after submitting the details.
Uh, from that link only I downloaded the FTK. Okay. Okay, try for this link. Same link, no? Xtero. Try for this link. Actually, from here only I downloaded. If it is working, then tell me. I'll change the link in a slide. I am having 4.5 version, and now they are providing 4.7.
It is working.
It's working, no? So I'm changing this link in a slide. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So open your FTK now. Say yes. So this is the interface of your Access Data FTK imager. I have added all the screenshot in the presentation too. Okay. After opening that FTK, connect your USB to your system. I'm connecting my USB. You also parallelly connect your USB. So when you open this FTK, connect your USB. Do it with me, okay? So connect your USB with system. Okay. Then we have to go to the file and click on create disk image. Okay. Go to the file and click on create disk image. See, there is an option create disk image. So when you click on create disk image, this one pop-up window occurs on your screen mentioning you have to select the drive. Which drive ka you have to create the image. Okay. So after clicking on create disk image, this pop-up window will occur. So where you have to go with a physical drive in the sense memory, physical memory. So you can attach USB or other laptop or the desktop, hard disk of other desktop or mobile phone, any physical drive. If you want to work on a cloud, then you have to connect with the logical drive. If you want to go with any image file, okay, other image file, then you have to create image file. So also we can create image of image, okay. Then you wanna do the imaging of specific only one single file. Suppose you may think this audio file or this particular clip is the evidence of a crime, then you can select that clip only. Alright, okay. Or if you have multiple device at the same time, bulk extractor. I told you, right? So if you connect CCTV plus floppy drive plus USB plus hard disk, and you wanna go with all these devices at the same time, you can click last option. So for us, for USB, we are dealing with the physical memory, right? So the first option, physical drive, and click on next. Now this window occur on your screen. So click on this arrow button. So for me, there are three options. Maybe for you, so many options. So now see, I am having presently three drives. Drive 0 is mentioning my hard disk. See, 1000 GB SCSI. This is my hard disk. This is my drive 1 or the second drive where I create a one another partition. As I said, no, I have a dual boot system. So 256 GB for my second partition where I am having Linux. And the third option is third drive is the USB which I am connecting now. So maybe maybe you have only two options, your main hard disk and your USB. Maybe three or four options. How many partitions you have with your memory? All those drives, and one more drive is your USB. Okay. You all are with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So select your USB, okay? Check properly. Don't select your hard disk or any other drive, because what will happen now? Imaging will start of your hard disk and it takes so much time. So we have to check. Suppose now my pen drive is 15 GB USB. So select your pen drive, okay? Check carefully and select your pen drive. So now I'm selecting my pen drive. Now, see in my pen drive, you can see how many files are there. So this is my pen drive. I'm having these files on my pen drive. Okay, how many? Around 9 files are there on my pen drive. So now I am selecting this USB 15 GB car. Now wait here. Okay, now see here, I am having one folder here. Now suppose I am a criminal, and what I there is one some crime and all that stuff, but I wanna delete all these files, or before uh, going out from that crime scene, what I did, I deleted those files. So now I'm deleting this folder. Now I'm doing shift delete. Okay, what we are saying is, if you are doing shift delete, then we are permanently deleting, right? So now I am permanently deleting this folder. So now I'm deleting the data which is present in my USB. So now see, presently there is nothing in my USB. Now I'm going to this USB device. I selected that USB device where I deleted those my files as evidence, and click on finish. Okay, click on finish. I'm waiting for you. So if you want to see the steps are: select the physical drive, then select the USB. I'm here. Okay, okay. Then here we have an option like where you gonna save your image file. Okay, then click on add. Now there are the different file formats of the image file: raw, dd. As I said, the dd command is used for the Linux operating system for creating an image file. So it's a dd. So if you are going with this option, then the similar image file is there. Like suppose you have a Linux operating system and you are doing the imaging, what extension of that file is the same of the extension file what you are doing now. Smart is another extension, E01 is another extension, AFF is another extension. So basically these are the different extensions of your image file. Suppose the by default is raw or a dd, and if you want to change, you can change, doesn't matter. Okay, now there is a raw, I'm going with raw only, so click next. Okay, now here you have to fill details regarding your evidence. Now as an example, suppose on a particular crime scene you are you have 3 or 4 evidence, like one mobile phone, one laptop, one USB, one desktop CPU. So you have to do the imaging of or the cloning of all those evidence, right? So you have to fill the details of each and every evidence separately. Suppose this is my case number 4. This is my evidence number 1. Unique description you can write. Suppose this is my USB, or we can write silver USB, and also you can write the name of that manufacturing company. Suppose this is from Channel, this is the name of that company. Similarly, you have to write about the evidence. Okay, this is the examiner, so I'm writing my name. You can write your name, and this is the note. So maybe this is the evidence of a particular crime, or if I'm writing this is a murder. Okay, you can write regarding more information with respect to evidence, and then click on next. Then here you have to select the where you wanna store the image file. Now I'm waiting for you. Okay, tell me when you reach here. Doing with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 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 Shall I go next? Next
Yes,
step.
ma'am.
So here you can browse the destination in which folder you wanna save your image file. So now I am selecting the. You can select your own destination. Suppose I'm going with the. Okay. IDEMI, suppose, and then I can make a new folder. I can write online session, and then okay, and then image file you wanna write. Otherwise, it's blank if it is okay. Then it's a fragmentation. Like if you have a big like hard disk or the USB, all the image files, the size capacity is 1500. So it's a fragmented. Like more amount of data is there, then more number of image files are generated. By default, fragment size is 1500 MB. But if you wanna create, if you wanna give the more size of your one single fragmented image file, you can increase. Otherwise, by default is 1500 MB. If you wanna provide a more encryption layer on image file, like image file with encryption, you can select this. Otherwise, unselect. Okay. Then okay, do this. I'm waiting for you. If you want steps, the steps are here. This is my evidence one. So I'm giving the name as AV, and if you're done with this, click on finish. And then this window will comes with, like, you are doing the image source is this USB, and then where you are going to saving in the particular path. So my image file is on this particular path. Okay. And then you can start. Now it will take some time, okay? Because it's a bit by bit image files are generated. You also start with your image file. It needs some time, okay? Yes, Samir.
Ma'am, this image, the hash value of the file we had and the image created, that will be the same.
Yes. The image
Uh,
file, what you are creating now, and after doing the analysis, again, you have the file with you, right? Again, you have to create the hash value of that image file. The both hash value should be matched.
And ma'am, what if I simply take a new USB drive and copy and paste the data on it? The hash value will change in that case?
New USB matlab, where you are the state destination, your image file destination.
No, ma'am, why don't we just copy and paste the files? Like, does that change the hash value?
Yes.
Hmm, okay. I
Yes,
didn't
the
understand your
timestamp
question.
changes. If you touch the original this thing, your timestamp changes.
Okay, without making any changes to the files also, simply
Timestamp.
by
That's why
copy
you have to.
pasting.
Your forensics is on the cloned image, not on the original. So that's why you use this.
Okay.
That is why the original has to be preserved. नहीं तो कल को वो बोलेगा, I don't know, it has been tampered with. That is in most cases, that is what happens if it is not handled properly.
Yes.
In the court, they will simply say, sir, this has been tampered.
Hmm.
Thereafter, whether thereafter you are able to prove also that this thing, it will fall flat. The case will not will fall flat.
Right.
By copying the into another USB, sir.
Yes, because if you want to copy into another image, this thing, then you have to click that particular original USB or the hard drive. But here you are not doing that. Here you are simply connecting the cloner and this through this application you are trying to create a image. You are not touching the original contents of the original hard disk.
Okay. But how will the hash value change now? So for example, we have a USB
No,
from a crime scene.
hash value may not. No, hash value is a function of many things. It could be even the timestamp also.
Oh,
You understand timestamp? When I open this thing, the date accessed will change. It may not be modified, but date accessed.
date access.
When you
Yeah.
go to when you go to the file properties on the right side, you see folder and file.
Hmm.
So you can
Yeah.
simply say, this file has been accessed. You have to preserve the date timestamp.
That is very
Only then it is
important.
considered. Yeah, that is very, very important. Yeah.
So, for example, if we get a USB from a crime scene, okay. Now, this USB first, ma'am said like we have to take the hash value of it, and after creating the imaging, we have to take the hash value. In both the cases, the hash value will definitely be the same, isn't it, ma'am? Will it
It
differ?
has to be same. It has to be same.
It has to
Otherwise,
be same.
it has to be same.
Ah, okay.
Otherwise, it is lost. Otherwise, the cause is lost. Otherwise, tomorrow that fellow can say, so it has been tampered with.
Ah,
That is what
okay.
happens in most cases where the cases fall flat in the court or wherever, when it is presented, if it is not it is not secured properly, hash value hash value is a function of many these things. It could include including the last timestamp of the when it was last accessed.
Okay.
That is why whenever a mobile phone is caught, it has to be first sealed.
Ma'am
What
told
people
in that Faraday
whichever
bag.
bag or
Ah,
anti-static bag or anything, first you have to seal it.
mm,
Okay. Otherwise, what will happen?
okay.
In most cases, what people do, the police and all, they don't know. They will
Mm,
suddenly open by themselves. they will say they'll try to unlock it, or they will tell the guy to unlock it, and they will start operating the phone and see what is there in the content. So that means you have already tampered with. He can always say, sir, this it
Oh,
was with him. I didn't put this files and photographs. I don't know from where they have come.
oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Someone got any image file?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay, nice. Okay, Nilesh. For me, I'll check. How many image files you have? Like, for me, it's 4 till now. For you, Nilesh or the Samir?
Only one.
Okay.
Could you repeat what you just said?
How many image files you got? Fragmentation of those image files.
3 output files and 1 text document.
Okay.
I have got around 10, ma'am, as of now.
So the meaning is you maybe have more data on your USB,
More data.
or it's a
Yeah,
very
yes,
old
sir.
one where you are deleting and copy pasting another files. Maybe for
I
because of
had deleted 1 year back. I think even that will get retrieved, isn't it, ma'am?
yes, all the data what you have.
All the
Maybe
data,
to delete.
whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm getting 9. Okay. By the time we'll go to the next tool.
Ma'am, I got something like MD5 hash, SHA1 hash, bad blocks list. No
Yes,
bad block.
right. So all
Shall I
these are
share
the
it
hash
enough?
files. Okay, I'm
These
stopping
are
my.
the what, ma'am?
These
These
are
are
the
the
hash files. Hash files.
hash files. Ah, okay, okay.
Okay, I'm stopping my screen sharing. Please share your screen, ma'am.
Ma'am, I can't because
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
attending from. Yeah, I'll
Understood.
send
You
it.
can post it. Yes, ma'am.
I'll send in our group, ma'am.
Yes, features are you can have hash with this command. You also can check the status, like how much time you need for creating this image file. They also can delete or the wipes the disk quickly. Again, you have to verify and check beat by beat how we gonna do with the hash and all. Multiple like bulk extracted, how it's work with the multiple images, multiple evidence, and you can create the image at the same time. Similarly, with DCFL DD also you can connect with the multiple evidence and you create the images of all those multiple evidence at the same time, and you can split the output like how we are going to create the fragmentation now. Similarly, you can create the fragmentation of your image file. This is the static data acquisition when your system is off. Like you got one desktop which is shut it down, then how you gonna deal with it? So first in VMware you have to Linux the Kali. After installing the Kali, this is your login page. This is the old version of Kali. Okay, now the new version comes in a market where another dragon is there, where you can select your USB. See, to select your USB as a one of the evidence. So now when you use this df command, this USB shows. This is the CB. These are the file formats. Okay, these are the different file formats of the open source operating system. So this is SB1. It's your USB. Then the another command. The command which I gave na here, all the command ka screenshots are like this is the you go with the dd command with your pen drive. Okay, this is the Verberos, like for a RAM memory you can do this. Then after creating the image file, your image file look like this with extension .tt. How to go with the DCL then the command is sudo apt get install. So here you have to install in all the things where in Windows we can go next and install. Here with command based you have to do with it. This is from DCLF. DD it gives you a hash. So see hash, which algorithm you want. If you want a MD5 or you want a SHA, then you can write sh1 image files are stored. Okay, all the details. Now I am minimizing this, and after installation of your autopsy. Okay. By that time, I'll stopping this. I'm logging to the Kahoot. Shall I go to the next step? Okay, so in autopsy, you have to click on a new case, and then or the case now. In the case name, suppose this is murder. Case directory by default is in the browser, you can select. So now I'm changing the path. You also can change your path if there is a by default path you are okay with it, you can go with it. If you want to change, you can change. Okay, the single user or the multi-user. Now, as I said earlier, sometimes a team, forensic investigator team comes on a case. So if there is a multiple uh, people, they come in a one team, you can go with a multi-user. How many are investigating this evidence? If it is single, then single, and then click on next. Then the number, this is my case number 4. What detail you have put it earlier while creating the image file, the same information you have to put it over here. And then note. So this is, maybe this is a murder case. And then you have to finish. So now there is a, the case is creating in your autopsy tool. Okay. Now you have to go to deal with that image file. So the first option is here to select the host, your machine where you have to do the analysis, which type of image file you are using, you are going, which type of file you are using for doing the analysis, image file or your local disk file, logical files, allocated space from your image file, autopsy, logical imager. These are the different type of files. The files where the data is present and you have to analyze that data. Now presently we are going to analyze our image file. So the first option is disk image. Click on next. Where that image file, you have to select that image file. Okay. So where you have created those image files. So I have created in user. So you have to select your path where you created those image files. If you're not able to see, you can change the destination and the file name. See the different types of extension. Now which extension you have selected, DD or E01 all. Okay, so you can check. Now for me it's 001. You open that file and then you can put those hash values here. Okay, it's optional, but now we have that record, no, hash file ka. Then you can put those hash values over here and then click on next. Now which type of analysis is going to do, they check what recent activity happened with the machine, hash files, identification, or see all the different ways how, which are the analysis mechanism apply on the file, image, encryption detection, central repository, photo recovery, different ways of doing the analysis. And then click on next. Now here they are taking that image file. So it will take some time for doing this analysis, okay? So you are with me? Those who are doing tiny list.
Ma'am, and select data source. The
Yes.
path, we have to select the path which that is what was initially given in the FTK imager.
While creation of image file, you gave na destination path where you
Uh,
created the images and save. The same destination you have to select where you got your image
oh,
file.
okay.
I'm closing my FTK because it takes computational power. Okay, now my files are analyzed. Then you can, when you got this window, you can click on finish. Then see data sources and all the analysis files are comes here. So these are all analysis of your only one